everyone. So I'm back with a new video. Today we're going to make garbanzo bean or chickpea and tahini salad. And this is a completely vegan and no cook recipe, which is great because it's starting to get hot again. I did want to take you on a little tour because a couple of things have gotten fixed in my house. So I wanted to show you really quick, since some of you know that I had a couple of holes in my ceiling a couple of weeks ago. And now, oh, you could almost see one right there. Now I want to show you, look, there's no holes. They're lights now. And look, there's one up there too. Yay! And you might have noticed behind me this beautiful new refrigerator. And my stove got replaced. I am going to walk you through this chickpea and tahini salad, which I used as a wrap. So here's our ingredients list. For the dressing, you need, this is the only super exotic thing that you need, which is tahini. You need maple syrup and apple cider vinegar. And then you need garlic powder and salt, and you need some pepper. So, show you the right label, that's pepper. That is the dressing. Now, what you're actually dressing is gonna be 2 cans of chickpeas, some parsley, which you're gonna chop up. This parsley smells really good too. You need 2 apples. You need 3 stalks, about 2 or 3 stalks of celery. And then you need some kind of a nut. The original recipe called for pecans, but I don't personally care for pecans and I couldn't find any in the store. So I got pepitas, which are like pumpkin seeds. You could do cashews, just chopped up cashews. You could do walnuts. Yeah, some crunchy nut. You need some crunchy nut for it too. Okay? Oh, and dried cranberries. Sorry, dried cranberries, you could do dried apricots, you could do cherries, dried, any kind of a dried fruit. You could do raisins. I don't know why you would, but you could do raisins. Oh, my grandpa would be so mad at me if he heard me talking bad about raisins. Anyway, any kind of a dried fruit. You know, the dried apricots might be really, the texture might be really interesting in this recipe. Let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is make the dressing so we have it and we can set it aside. So we're gonna take some tahini. Now, it's a little kind of watery. It's not quite peanut butter consistency and it looks awful, doesn't it? We're gonna put, I don't know, like maybe half a cup. We're gonna kind of eyeball it. I'm gonna put half a cup in there. And then we're gonna take our maple syrup. Now I'm gonna add about half again as much of the maple syrup. And then we're gonna do the same thing with our apple cider vinegar. About half again as much, so about 1/4 cup. Yeah. Then we'll add our garlic powder and our salt. And finally, we're gonna crack a bunch of black pepper into this. I don't know, I'm gonna do about 20 turns. I like it to be real peppery. Oh my goodness, isn't my washing machine so freaking loud? But I had to do laundry because I'm running out of underwear. All right, I think that should be enough. And then we're just gonna mix that up. Yum, it smells delicious. I think I might add a little bit more maple syrup and a little bit more apple cider vinegar. This is what happens when you eyeball recipes. But I'm okay with having a little extra of this dressing because it is really good. might add a little bit more pepper to that too. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Now that we have the dressing made, we're going to drain and wash our garbanzo beans, and then we're going to stick them in our bowl. And I'm going to use a potato masher, but you can use whatever. You could use like a heavy cup. And we're going to kind of smash the chickpeas. Now, you want to get some of them really smashed, and you want to leave some of them kind of chunky so that you have some differing textures. So we're just going to smash until it looks pretty good. All right, this is where we've gotten to, and I actually like this. This is a lot of good textures, so that's where we're gonna leave the chickpeas, and now we're gonna start adding all of the other ingredients. I lucked out and found some really beautiful celery at Smart and Final today. So I'm gonna chop up about 4 stalks of this, and then I'm going to chop up 2, these are Honeycrisp, but like you could use anything. I don't think something like a Red Delicious that tends to have a mushier texture would be good. You want something that's nice and crisp. And actually a Granny Smith, the tartness from the Granny Smith would probably be really good in this recipe, but I like Honeycrisp, so that's what I'm using. Just a little, kind of a small dice. You don't want the pieces to be too big. I feel like 1 celery stalk was, or 2 celery stalks was enough in that. So I'm gonna use the other ones for some peanut butter. Call it a day. Now let's get some apples in there. I've got all my ingredients chopped up, and I would say you do want to do the apples last because you don't want them to brown while you're cutting other stuff up. So do the apples last. And I actually only did 1 apple. I think it's plenty. So yeah, I might add more later if I feel like I didn't get enough apple in there. But now we're going to dress it and then we'll taste it. So the idea of this salad is to be like a, you know, for sandwiches as an alternative to chicken. So I put it on a little roll. Let's give it a taste. Crunchy. That is delicious. I probably would add a little bit more garlic powder, but you get the sweet of the apples and the cranberries, and then you get like a really deep flavor from the tahini and the garbanzo beans, and some crunch from the celery and the pepitas. It's really good. Try it. Some of you that are watching might know that I'm affiliated with the Fools Collaborative. Right now, we are raising money for the Fresno NAACP and Fresno Black Lives Matter. If you want more information about that, I will link it in the description below. But also, you can find the Fools Collaborative on Facebook, or you can find us at fresnofools.com. Google Fresno Fools. I'm sure it'll come up. Yeah, I don't know that I'm qualified to speak on everything that's happening right now, but I do know that the only way to move the conversation forward is to listen to Black people and people of color right now. So your help would be appreciated. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.